Hey FlossTube, it's Megan, Georgia Girl Stitching, here for my first video of 2021. We finally made it through 2020. It is January 5th, 2021, and here to give you my January update for the last month, but also gonna do my WIP parade and talk about kind of my plans for 2021 and do the giveaway from last time. And show you all of the amazing stitchy kindness and haul that I've gotten over the last few weeks. So this is probably gonna be a long one, so go ahead and get whatever refreshments you may need. I'm gonna start with kind of like a little bit of a life update, just briefly, and then go into the kind of my finishes starts, and then the WIP parade, kind of get into the stitching, and then I'll save the haul, kindness, and everything for the end. So the last December was quite a month. Finished my block 2, which is kind of like quarter 2. It's 12 weeks. So finished quarter 2. It was a struggle at the end, but we made it through. Those last couple of weeks were the hardest of med school yet. So made it through. Crawled our way to the holidays, but we went home for a couple weeks. David finished a week before I did, but then we went home that third weekend of December, and we were trying to kind of figure out how long we were going to be home, because we both have 3 weeks off. So we have 2 weeks that are like winter break through the new year, and then we have this whole week off and start back next Monday. He starts his next rotation, I start my next block on Monday. So we're kind of looking at the calendar, like, so how long are we gonna be in Atlanta? When do we want to come back to Auburn? Ended up being there for 2 weeks because we had it was originally gonna be the Tuesday of the week of Christmas. He needed to get to Atlanta to do his groomsmen and groom suit shopping for the wedding. They're getting all Tommy Bahama suits for our beach wedding. So the Tommy Bahama shop's in Atlanta, so we had to go for that. So we decided to go ahead and go that Monday, and then Christmas was that weekend. David's birthday is December 29th, and he wanted to be in Atlanta for that, so we stayed through that, and then New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and then our best friends, David's best man in our wedding, he was getting married the first week of January in South Carolina. So Atlanta's kind of already, not exactly halfway, but along the path to South Carolina. So we ended up staying for the 2 weeks of winter break, and it was so wonderful. It was so nice to be home. Kind of felt like I'd come home from college, we're back but with my fiance this time. And we just had a wonderful 2 weeks, a lot of relaxing, but also activities. Mom and I went to a winery in North Georgia, did some wedding planning, did some crafting. David got to spend his birthday how he wanted to. He built a new computer. We just had a great time. And the Christmas itself was really nice. It was just my parents, me, David, and then his mom. So we did Christmas Eve at her house, Christmas morning at our house, and then our house, my parents' house, used to be my house. And then Christmas dinner we did at his aunt and uncles that live in Alpharetta. So it was pretty quiet, but it was really nice, and we were completely spoiled. We had a very, very nice Christmas. David, I haven't exactly asked him what his favorite gift was, but our parents got us a stand mixer off our registry, and he went berserk. So we also got new titles because his mom bought us I don't know exactly how you do it, but we got a proclamation of land ownership. She bought us a teeny tiny little plot in Scotland. So we are technically Lord and Lady in Scotland I'll have to show you the proclamation later, but it's really cute. So it's a teeny tiny little plot that you officially are a landowner. So kind of like buying a star in the galaxy, So that was really fun, and we just had a really great time together and opening gifts, and then just spending time. We took a few day trips. Like I said, my mom and I went to the winery. and then the wedding was wonderful. David was best man, so there was a lot of, getting ready for that, and their wedding was gorgeous and very, just simple, elegant. They just did it. It was in a venue that had a barn, so they had an outdoor wedding outside the barn, or stable, that was like transferred into a wedding venue. So it was really nice. And then we came home. We left South Carolina Sunday morning because the wedding was on Saturday. So we left Sunday morning and then stopped off in Atlanta to pick up other things and then made the whole trip back to Auburn. So we came back Sunday night, and it felt like we were moving back in. It felt like back from like July. Like we had to move like 2.5 weeks worth of stuff back in. So we spent yesterday kind of getting life back in order, and then decided today to go ahead and sit down and say hi to all of you and see you for the first time for the new year. Our New Year's Eve was also very quiet. We did, there's a brewery in Marietta that was doing Glover Park Brewery, which is relatively new, but we just discovered it over break, and they were having a New Year's Eve kind of thing. So it was very social distanced, but we went up and it was really nice. So we had a couple drinks there, and then we were just there for a little while. They had a food truck for dinner, and then my mom and dad pulled out the GameCube and the PlayStation 2, and we had a retro gaming night that rang in the new year. It was really fun. We played Frogger and Mario Baseball on the GameCube, and we just had such a fun time kind of bringing in the new year with retro gaming. Monkey Ball, oh my gosh, so these are games that like my dad and I played nonstop when I was little. I think so we did like GameCube, PlayStation 2, and then we eventually transferred to the Wii. But we were playing a lot of those games that we hadn't played since pretty much we got in the Wii, so it was really fun. And then the wedding then came back, so just kind of getting back to normal life this week, and getting ready to start up again next week. Block 3 is neurology and neuroscience and all of those things, so it's gonna be, I briefly looked at my block calendar that we got and had to put it away because I almost had a panic attack looking at all of the exams that we had coming up. So that's a problem for next week though. But so this week we're gonna enjoy relaxing and lots of stitching, and he's got, he still has to do a little bit of work because he's got to study for boards. Step 2, complex level 2 is this summer, so he's been studying for that. But yeah, Tank's doing well. A lot of people loved his cameo a couple videos ago, so we'll see if he makes another cameo this time around. But he did great, traveling so much. He's definitely happy to be home though. He's like been prancing around the house and like very, very happy to be back at home. So yeah, so that's kind of a little bit of life update. Thank you all so much for your constant love and support and commenting and reaching out. It's been nice to kind of connect with a lot of people over the holidays too. I've been trying to post a little bit more. It's a 2021 resolution of mine is to be more active on Instagram. I kind of realized why I had fallen off on that, and that's mostly because during school, the only time I can stitch is like really early in the morning or really late at night, and those are very dark, physically dark times outside. And so when I would try to take a picture early on, the lighting was all off. Like you weren't getting an accurate representation of the stitching, and so I didn't post it because it didn't look very good, very much like what I was actually stitching. And then during the day, I'm so heads down studying that I just like don't think to stop for a second and take a picture. So my goal this year is to be better about like just taking the 5 seconds and taking a quick photo, and then I can post it at night, whatever. But yeah, so trying to get better at that. But it's been fun talking to you all. So thank you all for reaching out and posting all the videos. The WIP parades have been, and normal videos too, but during this time of year, everyone's kind of doing, you know, the WIP parade and kind of getting ready for their 2021 plans and everything. And those videos have been so fun. So, so I feel like I've connected with a lot of you because I've accepted the fact that I will never, ever again in my life be caught up on FlossTube. There's just no way. So I enjoy the time that I've had these last couple weeks to binge FlossTube a lot. So those have been fun. I'm gonna start the stitchy part with a couple finishes that I've had over the last couple weeks. So the first one, I started this on Thanksgiving. So you saw my start in the last video, but I got kind of obsessed with it where I was like, I want to finish this. I didn't think I was going to be able to finish it. So I actually made it a goal for 2021 to finish it. But then when I saw where I was on it, when it got close, I was like, let's just do it. Let's just knock it out. So this is my last finish of 2020. Is Merry and Bright by Cottage Garden Samplings. And this is where we're at with it. All done. This M was so much fun to do. Her lettering is just gorgeous, but all of it was so fun. So this was done on 35 count dove. I started on Thanksgiving and I finished on December 28th. So I'm gonna get a close up on it. I did have to make a few modifications in order to actually finish it. So I did this 2 strands over 2 on 35 count. So I'm, like I've said before, I'm on the train that does 2 strands on 36. I don't start doing 1 strand until I get to 40 count. But because of that, you know, the pattern calls for just using 1 strand. So so she really just says people are like, you just really need 1 skein of all the colors. And I think normally that works, but since I was using 2 strands, I ran out of 2 colors. I ran out of juniper and monkey grass. But I ran out of juniper a while ago, so I was able to order that in, but I didn't know I was gonna run out of another color. Because juniper is what's used, it's the dark green and all. So I knew that color, and it's used in a lot of places and used a lot. So I wasn't surprised that ran out, but none of the colors were like that. So I was surprised I ran out of monkey grass, but I did. I ran out of monkey grass like right before Christmas. And that's why I was like, there's no way I'm gonna finish this because there's no way I can get more monkey grass. I don't have any L&S near me to run to. 1, 2, 3 stitches taking forever. Like there's no way. But then my mom was like, well, why don't you use the DMC version of it, their conversion of it? And I was like, oh. Because I only needed, when I ran out of monkey grass, all I needed was these 2 leaves. It's the outline. So it's the light, like the middle green. So not that one, but there's 4 greens in each of these leaves. There's a lot of greens, but it comes around and outlines it. So I was missing 2 outlines and 2 outlines. Oh, and then like technically this star was monkey grass. So I was like, okay, 3 outlines. Like if it's the DMC color, you're not really going to be able to tell necessarily. So I went and I looked at the DMC that was called for it, and I was like, I found it. And, but I decided, I was like, well, since it's kind of variegated, let me try with like, oh, that's right. I didn't have the actual call for it. I had the number right before it. So I think it was like 3346, and I had like 3345 or something. And it was not exactly the same green. It was the light, because you know, it's variegated. So the light part was one of them. I think it was the 3346. But then my mom was like, oh, I have the called for. She like looked through her stash and found it. And it was like the dark part of the variegated. So but with the 2 DMC, you have the full monkey grass. So I did 1 strand of each. And you can't even like, if I didn't just tell you that, you wouldn't be able to tell. And honestly, yeah, you can't even tell. So, but I knew you'd be able to tell if I did this big star here. So what I did is I just used one of the other variegated colors. I used the Ivy, which is the light color here, the other big fill-in, and that's what I used for the big star. So then I was able to finish it. So thanks, Mom, for the idea. And then there we are. It was so much fun to do. It really was. So that was the last finish 2020, and I finished it right in time for David's birthday, because one of David's birthday requests was that I work on his Starry Night Over the Rhone, which is the full coverage that I'm doing for him. It's his favorite painting by Van Gogh. So I'm doing that. So he wanted me to work on that for his birthday, which, okay. So I was able to finish this in time to work on that and not feel like, oh, but I really want to finish this. So it worked out. My other finish, which was also my first finish of 2021. Okay, so we're at the point, this is the second and last time. Maddie, if you're watching, stop watching. I don't think you watch, but in case you are, stop. So had to give that disclaimer. So you guys, I talked about this in my last video. I designed this piece and then I'm making it for my maid of honor, who's been so incredible already, and we're still 6 months out until the wedding. And so I wanted to do something really special for her. So I found a picture and designed it, and then her favorite colors are like all the colors you could find like on a peacock feather. So I designed it and then was working on it, and then I finally was like, let me go ahead and, I actually worked on it specifically. I want to have it done in 2021 anyway, obviously the wedding, but I'm doing WIP Go, which I'll talk more about in a little while. I'm doing WIP Go 2021, and the number that Jesse called was this piece. So I was like, okay, well, let's go ahead and knock it out early January. So here it is. I called it Kind, Fierce, Brave. So this is kind heart, fierce mind, brave spirit. And this quote, whenever I hear this, like I instantly think of Maddie. Like that is Maddie Gropp. So brave spirit. So all I had really left was to do the brave spirit. So I worked on that in the car on the way back from South Carolina and then was able to finish it 2 days ago on Sunday when we got back. So yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry. I finished it yesterday morning. I wasn't able to finish it in the car. I kept making mistakes and I was getting frustrated, so I put it away. So yesterday morning, I finally knocked it out. So kind, fierce, brave. So that's it. And this is on 40 count water green. And if you want more kind of details on this, I talk about it in my last video. But there's the finish. So I'm gonna go to a craft store at some point this week and try and find a frame for it, and start working on getting this finished. So those are my 2 finishes over the last month. I worked on a few other things, but I'll just show you those in the WIP Parade. New starts, I'll go ahead and show my start though. So I decided to have a New Year, new start. We were driving to South Carolina on New Year's Day, so I was like, seems like a good time to get started on something. And I've been wanting to start this for a while. This pattern was gifted to me over the summer by some amazing friends as I was leaving and moving out, and also my birthday all happened around the same time. So this pattern was gifted to me, and then I bought the fabric before I moved from Keepsakes and got it mostly kitted up. I don't have every color, but that's okay. So the pattern I'm talking about, I started Shores of Hawk Run Hollow. This Keepsakes has a model of this, and I fell in love with it. Now the model, it's a model that a customer did, and she had a conversion on it. But when I saw the original, I really liked the original colors. So, and when I read the passage, it made me think of David and being in the Navy, because the words say, light the way, come what may. The moon above will guide my love while he's at sea away from me. My love at sea, I will wait for thee. Beneath the blue of heaven's dome lies the sea that fish call home. And then there's also this piece, this block here is like in memory of Lieutenant Jacob Pomeroy, anchored in the haven of rest, May 7th, 1745. And I don't know what this, I Googled it and I can't find like a Lieutenant Jacob Pomeroy. At least on this date. So if anyone knows what that is, I'm thinking about changing that, because this is like kind of what I'm thinking, like it makes me think of David. I think I might change that to like David's, not in memory of, but like information of David, in honor of, you know, or something like that, for being in the Navy. But if this is like a significant person, let me know, because I'd be interested in learning about that. So yeah, so my goal for 2021 with this piece is to just finish the first block. This piece is definitely a multi-year project. I am okay with that. I am planning on that. So let's just start with block 1 and see how it goes. But on New Year's Day, I was able to get the outline done for block 1. So definitely underestimated this pattern a little bit. Like, I knew it was big, but until you actually make that outline of a block, I mean, my hand almost fits in this block. It's 92 by 92. So yeah, I am doing it on 32 count platinum. I didn't really think about the size when I was choosing that. I hadn't really started 40. I had started 40 count, working on 40 count, but I wasn't like in love with it yet when I started this, or when I got the fabric for it. So I was like, no, I'll just do 32. That's like my normal. And so when I was at Keepsakes, I was like, yeah, let's do platinum. The colors look good. And so Susan, I think it was Susan, walked away with the fabric and the sizes and came back like, okay, here's your fabric. And then it was like, oh, okay. this is gonna be really, really big. So, oh, that's the back of it. But still, yeah, so just a very large piece of fabric for this piece. So this will be fun for many years to come. Also, I was gonna see if anyone, so I'm doing the DMC conversion. I'm not doing the silks, but these like big blocks of water, I'm thinking of doing in like a variegated. Has anyone done that or seen that before, and has any suggestions for variegated water? I believe the water is charted and DMC is 927. So yeah, so if anyone has any like ideas or recommendations for a variegated blue for the water, I would be very interested in knowing it. I mean, I like the DMC, but I felt like a little variegation might be fun too. So that is the new start. So now, and again, my goal is for 1 block for this year. So, and that has not been called yet on WIP Go. So I'll kind of jump into my plans a little bit as I'm about to go through my WIP parade. By the end of the year, I was kind of thinking about how I wanted to tackle 2021, because I officially have more WIPs than I've ever had. So it's like, how do I want to go into this? Because I love all of my WIPs. I want to work on all of them. So I watched, of course, I've been watching Jessie Marie Does Stuff here, and then Pam and Steph, of course. And I was like, I really liked the WIP Go board. So what I decided was like, I want to touch all of my WIPs in 2021. And I know there's multiple ways to do that. Like Erin to Martini, she works on the WIP on the birthday of like whatever day she started it, that day every year, or that day of the month every month, she works on it. And I like that, but I can't commit to that, especially because I went on a starting frenzy in April and May. And so like I would have to work on like 3 projects on May 18th and 3 projects on like April 20th or something. Like it's not realistic for me. So I really like the WIP Go idea is when those numbers get called. So it's like a bingo board, WIP Go bingo, if you haven't heard of it. And she calls numbers once a month, and those are kind of like your focus pieces for the month. And to get to whatever goal, you create a goal for the project, and whatever your goal is, you're trying to get to that. You don't have to get to it in that month. It's a year-long goal. You can make, I mean, mine are year-long goals. So if I don't get to it in that month, I just have to make sure I pick it back up again, before the end of the year, to try to get to that goal. But it's all intrinsic. You don't, you create your own rewards, but the goal is to finish, 5 in a row, 5 goals in a row that are called. And that way you get like a WIP Go or a bingo. So I like that idea a lot. And then I could come up with like achievable goals each year for my WIPs. And that way I touch all of them, like hopefully like a significant amount. And there were some times over the last year, I'm like, I don't know what to work on. I want to work on them all. So now I kind of have like a little bit of a guidance, like, well, 14 and 12 were called. You should work on those WIPs, or something. So, so I really like that idea. So I went ahead and started a WIP Go board, but I do not have 24 WIPs. So I was like, well, because I don't have that many, not yet at least. So I was like, well, how am I going to fill in those other slots? And I have quite a few projects I already have completely kitted up that I really want to start. So what I decided to do is I would fill those other spaces with projects that I have kitted up. And that way I can start new things and work on WIPs and kind of get it all in there. So I did 24. I kept the free space in the middle. So now my goals are pretty low. I set my bar pretty low on my goals just because, like, who knows when these are going to get called. I mean, March is scary. So whatever gets called in March is not going to get worked on a whole lot. I can already tell. That was the month that when I looked at my block calendar, I was like, okay. So, cause it's our last month of the block. And then at the end of the March, I end my block and then I get to go on my bachelorette party. So that's gonna be really fun. It's a nice reward, but not a whole lot of stitching. So I set my bar low, and then whatever I do after that is, like, you know, great overachievement. So, so I want to go ahead and kind of talk about that, because when I'm going through my WIP parade, I'm going to say like what my goal is on my WIP Go board. And then also I'm going to go through what I have on the WIP Go board for my kitted project. So I can go through what I have kitted up. I'm just going to show you like the pattern and the fabric. I didn't get all the floss out or anything, but most of the time it's called for. So the picture is going to look like what I'm going to do. So yeah, so I just want to give you that kind of disclaimer. We're only going to go through 23 things though, not 24, because one thing I have on WIP Go and one thing that is a WIP that I started is a gift. And I know that person watches this, so I am not, or most of the time watches it. So I'm not going to show that. So we're going to keep that a secret, but when it's time, you'll see it. So we're only going to go through 23 things. But I'm going to go in like reverse chronological. So I'm going to start with like my most recent starts for WIPs all the way back to like my oldest. And then we'll do the kitted stuff. Okay. So here we go. The first thing that we're going to go through, I started this on my notes are down here. Sorry. Cause my memory, I didn't want to stammer. So I started this on October 16th of 2020, and it is 3 Leaves by Simple Wave Studio on Etsy. And I've talked about this one recently. This one, I don't know what hoop this is, because this is a very large pattern. And so this is very misleading. When I first did the measurements on 32 count, like just normal 32 count, it was going to be 16¼ inches long. So I don't know if they make hoops that big, but that's what. So when I originally bought this, I thought it was going to be really small and like a nice little wall hanging. It is not. So what I decided to do, but I had great fabric for it from, it's called Stinkhorn from Fortnite Fabrics. It was one of their fabric of the months when I was doing that. And I really love the fabric, but the only way I can make it work is if I did it 1/1. So I am doing this on 32 count 1/1 in the called for DMC. I still have it on the Q snap just because it's in a nice placement, and I doubt I will need this anytime soon for anything. So I'm just keeping it on there. But yep, so I have a few colors done on it. And my goal for this is to finish 1 leaf. So to essentially finish this leaf by the end of 2021. And then the next one, actually, I am working on right now because it was called for in 2020 for WIP Go. So WIP Go for me for January was the free space, and then it was actually Kind Fierce Brave. So I finished that. And then this one, which is Winter's Wisdom. It was gifted to me by my amazing friend Taylor, fully kitted. And here's where I'm at on it. So last time you saw it, I finished this bird on Thanksgiving, or on the way home for Thanksgiving, and then I put it away to start Merry and Bright. So since I've picked it up in the last couple of days, I've started this guy and the rest of the branches. And then my goal for this is a finish for 2021. And it's called for this month, which is why it's on the key snap. So I'm going to keep chugging away on this. I feel like a finish isn't that crazy maybe for this month, because I just have, the only part on the bird that's left is his belly, which is this color. The leaves on the branches, and then like the little stuff, like the pine cones, the house, the crown, the key, the word. This bar of snow is going to be real fun. So that's probably what's gonna honestly take me the longest. So yeah, so we're getting there. I love it. It's really fun to work on. I'm happy to work on it for January. In winter, I am what's gonna be very interesting for me for WIP Go is I am usually a very seasonal stitcher. So if something like, I have quite a few seasonal things on WIP Go. So if it gets called, like if a winter thing gets called in May, like that's gonna be weird for me, but I think it's gonna kind of break out of your comfort zone a little bit. So that's a nice way to kind of get into that. So and then that is on 36 count Touch of Blue, I believe. I didn't write it. For some reason, I don't have that one written down. I will put it down below what fabric this is on, because it's perfect fabric for it. It's perfect fabric. I love it. The next one, I started that on September 13th. This one, I started on July 9th, and that is Tequila by Stitch Rovia. And I am doing this on 40 count platinum. And that's all I have done on it. Has not changed since the last time. A lot of these have not changed since the last time you saw them, but that is where we're at. And so my goal for this one is to finish, not the whole thing, to finish Pinch of Salt. So I've wedge done and I've started the E, so I want to finish Lime and Pinch of Salt. And that's on 40 count, so that goes really quickly. So I'm hoping, as long as this isn't called in March, I should be able to do that. So Lime and then Pinch of Salt. Okay. The next one is Smooth, the next one actually doesn't have a name. So it is from the Cross Stitch for the Soul Emma Congdon book. And it does not have an official name. She did design, she numbered them. I named it for myself, Smooth Sea. And we have, and so I'm doing this one. I've called it Smooth Sea. A smooth sea never made a skillful sailor. So love this one a lot. My goal for this one is to finish C, which is kind of a big goal, but again, 40 count, which goes pretty quick for me. So that's the pattern. Where we're at on it is the middle bar still. So I haven't worked on this since July, which makes me sad. I really want to get back to this. So I've never made A, and I want to get C done. The next one was a gift from my friend Jen in Cincinnati, and it is Memorial Day by Hands On Design. She kitted this up for me with these sulky threads, and it's my first time using sulky. It's the only pattern I have right now with sulky, and I love working with them. So I have so far the outline, oh sorry for the wrinkles, but the posts and the line, and then one word. And my goal for this is to get one flag done. My ultimate goal, like my actual goal, is to get a flag and the rest of the words done. But I will feel accomplished if I can get just one flag done. So that's where we're at. And that is stitched on 32 count Lugana Cornflower from Fiber on a Whim, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous fabric. The next one is Let's Do Wine by Imaginating. I fell in love with this pattern when Pam at Just Keep Stitching was working on it. And I have not worked on this one since I started it back on May 19th. Oh yeah, so I started Smooth Sea June 23rd at the beach. and Memorial Day on June 14th. And then this one I started on May 19th. So I'm doing this one on a 32 count fabric of the month from Fortnite Fabrics. It didn't have a name. I looked, it was just a fabric of the month. So they might have something similar now, part of their normal line. But it's like this like aged parchment paper kind of look, which I thought was perfect for wine. So I just have the word wine. So my goal for this is to finish the top half of the bottle. All the different types of wine at the top is my goal. It's all backstitch. So, and I now know the pin stitch for like starting and stopping. So I'm hoping that that can go pretty quick since it's mostly backstitch. I remember Pam mostly got caught up in the border and the grapes. Like that was what took her the most amount of time. So, so I'm hoping that can go pretty quickly this year. So that's wine. And then the next one I just worked on. So this one has changed since the last time you saw it. I worked on this David's birthday and the day after because I was really in a groove. So I kept going with it for a little while longer. But this is Starry Night Over the Rhone by Artisy. I started this on May 18th. Well, I restarted on May 18th. I originally started it a long time before that. But I started it on Navy Blue Aida, which is up here. I'm not using this. But I had originally started on 16 count Navy Blue Aida and hated it. I couldn't do it on the dark Aida. Nothing against Aida I prefer Aida for full coverage. It's just easier and it's even and it lays flatter and Aida is really nice for full coverage. But the dark navy blue, I like couldn't see it. And most of these colors are navy blue or dark blue. So it was like dark blue on dark blue. Wasn't working. So Rocio from Kokohama Stitchery, I was talking with her and she was like, girl, no, just do it on the 18 count and it doesn't really matter what color it is. If you don't want, because I just didn't want white showing through because it's all pretty dark. And she was like, if you do it on like an oatmeal, even if something does show through, it won't. So it won't be as bad essentially. So I'm doing this 2 strands on 18 count Fiddler's Aida and white oatmeal. And that is where we're at. My goal for this is to get 1 page done, just to get 1 page. And because of Pattern Keeper, this has gone so much faster. So this is the bottom of the page and this is the side of the page. I did a little bit of, what's it called? Feathering into the next page. And same down here, I did a little bit of feathering, but to prevent those like harsh lines that you can sometimes get. But yeah, so I got a ton done. I think I got like 800 stitches over 2 days from Pattern Keeper. It's amazing how fast it goes. So I was doing like the block by block, you know, and I still will, but with Pattern Keeper, it's so much easier to just, I still will always stay within a page, but it might be easier to do like cross country within the page now that I have Pattern Keeper. When I did not have Pattern Keeper and it was just a paper copy, definitely block by block. Just makes it a little bit easier to handle. So yeah, and then I started that on, so May 18th was my start frenzy. May 18th, May 19th was my start frenzy. I just got into a mood of like, I just want to start all the things. I had all these things kitted and I was like, I just want to start all these things. So started this one. I also started my other full coverage, one of my other full coverages, which is Hammock at Sunset by X Stitch Cross Stitch, or Stitch X Cross Stitch Designs. I got this off of everythingcrossstitch.com, which is another great website. If 123 Stitch doesn't have it, check out Everything Cross Stitch because they're amazing too. And I don't feel like they get as much love. So yeah, so this is Hammock at Sunset. Also on 18 count Fiddler's Aida Light Oatmeal. Started this also on May 18th. And here's where we're at. Have not worked on it since the last time I showed it, unfortunately. My goal for this one is also to get a page finish. So yeah, I'm doing the parking and this one I might keep doing block by block just so I can watch that hammock kind of come into fruition. So yeah, love that. And then the next one you've seen relatively recently, haven't worked on it since you saw it, but This is Celtic Summer, which I've talked about a lot recently. From Lavender and Lace. Mine will look nothing like this, but that is the original. I'm doing it, so if you're new here, I am getting married in June on a beach in the summer. June. And the Keys is what I meant to say. On the beach in the Keys, and our wedding colors are kind of like Tiffany, kind of like this blue, Tiffany blue, and navy blue. And so I am converting Celtic Summer into our wedding colors. And then I'm gonna change, when I actually know what it looks like, I'm gonna change her basket into essentially like what my bouquet looks like, which I won't know until the day of pretty much. I know what flowers are gonna be in it, but not what it's gonna look like. So I originally was gonna try, like, ultimately I want to finish this, you know, by our wedding day, but since I won't be able to really do that, and because I would have to essentially work on this only until then, I decided to let that goal go a little bit. But here's where we're at. I had to redo these colors multiple times. So these are this was my, like, I need to take this out, but this was me testing the colors together for the Tiffany blue section. But yeah, here's where we are. Gosh, she's so fun. She's so gorgeous. In this lighting, you can kind of see where the different color blues were. Last time you couldn't really tell, but now you can kind of see that line coming down. That's the different blue. And my goal for this one is to finish all of her dress in cross stitch. So not the metallic or the beads or anything, but try and get her dress done. So I have finished most of, like, the purple section. I have finished most of that with the blue. So that part's mostly done. So now it's this front part and then this back part, which is not insignificant. I'm not saying that at all, but I think that's a nice goal. I already have her arm done. So yeah, that's where we are on that. Yeah, the last time I worked on this actually was when Mom and I were binging The Crown when it came out in November. She came down and we were binging it, and I worked on it because it was the closest thing I had to something English, which Celtic, you know, it's close. It's United Kingdom. But also I have this needle minder, which is Keep Calm and Carry On, which is English. So yeah, there's that one. And then the next one I love so dearly. I'm so excited to get back to it. I am doing this with Shiloh at XStitchMD, the hashtag #CuzQuakersSouth. And this is Patchwork Quaker by Stickering van der Weinberg. One day I'll get it. Here's where we're at. I am not changing anything about this. And this is on, oh, sorry, Celtic Summer was on a 28 count Salt Rock Lugana from Color and Cotton. This is on 40 count Platinum, and then I'm keeping all the colors the same. I don't have any pattern changes, which is abnormal for me, but I love it. I started this on May 15th. I started Celtic Summer also on May 18th. That was part of the frenzy. So started this on May 15th as part of Mania, and here's where we're at on it. Actually, you know what? Let me just show you the whole thing. So, oh, it needs a good iron. But this is where we're at on it. So my goal for this one is to finish page 2. So essentially, really page 2 finishes with this motif here, which is the one I'm technically working on. So finish this, finish page 2, and then I also want to finish all of page 3. So there's the motif. I started it. And all of page 3, it's going to come back down here, and it's going to be the next, so it's 6 pages altogether. So this was 1, 2, and then I want to come and do 3. That it's roughly like this area here, which will be a lot of fun. There's a lot of good motifs in there. So yeah, that's my goal for 2021. Hopefully I'll get more than just a page done on it. I got 2 done in 2020, so almost two done. 2 and 1, mostly 2. So So yeah, I just love it so much. And this was the pattern that when Shiloh showed it, I like felt, this was my gateway into Quakers. So hashtag Cuz Quaker Style. If you have any Quakers that you love and you love to work on, you can use the hashtag Cuz Quaker Style. This one I started on April 30th. This was my first Mania piece, and that is and it's also my last full coverage. And it is Beachcomber by Carolyn Manning Designs. And fell in love with this. Jan Hicks was actually who showed this that I fell in love with. And then Shiloh also saw it and fell in love and has started it as well. But it's really fun because we've all started in like different places. So we're all seeing different parts. Like Shiloh started, I think the top right corner. It might have been I think Jan Hicks started in the top left corner. I started in the middle. And then a lot of other people, I know EJ from Sunshine Stitchers has also, she and a few other people started a Manning Sal. I'll put it below, but there was the hashtag they started where everyone was starting a Carolyn Manning piece. And so I worked on it then. And then I have a lot of others that I want to do too. I think she has so many, and this is the Shooting Star collection. She has so many and keeps cranking them out, man. She is like prolific with these. It's like the same design with different colors and different colorways. If you haven't seen them, definitely check them out on her website. And she also has a good Facebook page too. They're amazing. And I have like 4 or 5 that are on my wish list. Tide Pool, Aquamarine, Turquoise, Mossagate, like all of those. And then even some of the ones she just released, like Dolphin. She had like some fishy ones that were really nice too. So yes, many. And then David was really liking some of them too. He had like September was one of them. Yeah, she just has so many. So I see myself potentially like always having one of these going. Finish one, start another one, kind of like a rotation of like constantly having a shooting star. So how about I show you where I am? Now that I've rambled on about it, this is where we're at. Oh no, Tigger has to be right side up. So here's where we're at. So because I started in the middle, it's been a lot of browns because that's where the browns are. They're mostly in the middle. But as you can see, once we get out of the middle, we'll be back to the blues. But my goal for this year is to come up and do this top corner, just to finish the top right quadrant. It's kind of where I'm thinking. I think that's like a nice goal to kind of, and then who was I watching though? I've watched so many WIP parades. There was someone I was watching and it was something like this. And she finished the quadrant and then she was like, now I have to do it 3 more times. And she kind of wished she had gone in a circle, which is how I had originally started. She wasn't talking about a shooting star. She was talking about a different project. I can't remember what it was now or who it was, but it made me think, I was like, maybe I'll be like that too. So should I maybe just keep going in the circle further and further out? I don't know. I at least want to I'm currently, I think at 24% done because this is in Pattern Keeper. Hallelujah. I at least want to get to, well, I'm already at 24%. So maybe 50%. So maybe I should make it a goal to be like halfway done or something. I don't know. I also kind of like the idea of having a whole quadrant done because I feel, maybe I won't feel that way because there's so much in this quadrant that by the time I finish up here, this will be new. You know, it will have been so long since I did this that coming over here will be new. It won't be like I'm doing it over again. It'll be like, okay, I'm starting something different. So I don't know. What are your thoughts? I'm definitely going to work on it though. I'm definitely going to at least start in this quadrant and then maybe see how it goes, but I won't probably work on this though until it's called for and WIP go. So I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Okay, we got two more WIPs and then we'll go to the kitted projects. This one I have not worked on too long of a time. But this is Winter by Cricut Collection. Beachcomber's on 40 count mallow, and I started that April 30th. This is Cricut Collection Winter. I started this on April 26th, 2020. And I'm doing this on 32 count pearl gray. And I have most of the N and T done. Haven't gotten that snowman in yet, but we got N and T. So you can kind of see on here. So I don't have the snowflakes, the snowman, or any of like the birds. I just have the letters and the hat. So my goal is to finish those. So get N and T completely done, and then also do W and I. So I can kind of get that started. So then by that time I only have E and R left. I love this series. I've already finished Autumn and Summer. And my ultimate life goal, making it a life goal because who knows when it'll all be done and framed. My life goal is to have switched out every year, or every season, have the Cricut Collection Winter, and then underneath it, the Celtic Lady that goes with it. So I have Celtic Winter and Celtic Autumn done. And then I'm working on Celtic Summer, but I only have Cricut Collection Autumn and Summer done and not Winter. So I was like, I really need to get this one done. Who knows when that will all happen. But the biggest hang up, not with this one. So this one, you know, we see WI, finish up NNT. And then I'll at least have, and then I finish Celtic Summer, I'll at least have 3 of the 4 seasons done. Spring is, I struggle with spring. One, I have like allergies with spring, and that's never fun. But also, I don't know, it doesn't mean as much to me right now. I've never been like a gardener, or I don't, you know, spring is very yellows and pinks, and those aren't my colors at all. From winter, I usually jump straight to summer, like with my decorations. I've never, like the bunnies, and it just hasn't really spoken to me very much. So when I see the patterns for like the Cricut Collection Spring and the Celtic Spring, they don't really speak to me very much. So I have to figure out what spring means to me. And I love greenery. Like I love the greenery and the buds coming out and the trees, you know, getting their leaves back. And I definitely love all of that. And the warm weather coming back, but like rain and I don't know, just I need to figure out exactly what that looks like for me. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to do, bottom line, I'm gonna do a lot of converting those charts before I can start them and get those all finished up and everything. So right now I'm focusing on summer, autumn, winter, and getting those finished up and framed and starting there, and then we'll figure out spring. Maybe as I grow up and mature, that will change, and maybe I should wait until, you know, we see how my tastes change over the next, you know, throughout the course of my life. Maybe I'll change that. So I don't know, but that's kind of, we're sitting at winter and summer now, and we'll let spring figure out how it goes. Okay, and then my last WIP, which has not changed in way too long of a time, is Celtic Christmas. I used to call this Celtic Noel because you'll see why, but Celtic Christmas from Lavender and Lace. This is what the picture is. And that is actually, so I always called it Celtic Noel because it says Noel, and all of the other ones say their season, and it's the Celtic season. And so I was like, Celtic Noel, but it's Celtic Christmas. This is actually, this picture, it's a little faded. This pattern actually came from my grandmother. She bought it, I think mom was telling, or did mom buy it to make for her? there's a connection between, I received this from my mom and I don't remember exactly the chain of ownership between it. If mom bought it to make for grandmother or if grandmother bought it for mom, but there's a multi-generational aspect to it. So I love this chart. I cherish this chart. I'm going to take care of this chart, but that is it. This is the one Celtic lady I am not changing a thing about. I love the colors. I'm going to even keep the gold to go with it because gold's not really my aesthetic, but the way that this is all done, I'm not changing a thing. So where I'm at on it, okay, well, even the fabric color, it's like that green color. So obviously the called for fabric is no longer in existence. I think this pattern came out in the 80s. I could be wrong about that, but if I remember correctly, I think mom bought it or someone bought it in the 80s. So I think, or 90s, pre-me. So the pre my existence. So the fabric is hard to find. So I got 28 count sage from Color and Cotton. And I started this is my oldest WIP, and I started on November 28th, 2019. And I have her arm mostly done, so, but not completely. This is the only only Celtic lady that has blended threads, and that slowed me down. All those browns, not even brown, like this dark, that is all blended. And I don't have a whole lot of experience with blended threads, so it kind of slows me down. I really wanted to work on it this Christmas, but then I got obsessed with Merry and Bright, which I don't know if I mentioned, but that actually was a gift, birthday present from David's mom. I know I mentioned it in my last video, but I want to mention it again. So thank you again, Paula, because I did finish it and I love it. So I wanted to work on it this Christmas, but I got obsessed with that WIP. So I didn't get to this one. But definitely it's on, my goal for this is just to finish her top half. So get the rest of this part of the dress done and maybe come up and do her face and hair, is my goal for 2021. So at least see some kind of progress on her because it is gorgeous and I would love to have it. That would come out, at Christmas time and everything. So yeah, so those are all of my, well, minus one, all of my started WIPs. And so my count right now going into 2021 is 14 WIPs, which seems like it's a pretty average middle of the road count because I've seen WIP parades that had 90 something down to WIP parades that have had 5. So I feel like, we're in a good place. I'm definitely not complaining. I love all of them. I'm excited to touch all of them this year and make some progress and get some finishes. And the only one I have that I had made a goal to finish was Winter's Wisdom. So, and that hopefully will happen this month. Other than that, I might not have as many finishes this year. But I didn't expect to end the year with 14 WIPs. So I think I only started the year with like 3. So you just never know. And it's not a race. It's not a contest. It's just our hobby. So we're going to do with it what we will. I would love to finish some of these. We'll just kind of see how the year goes with med school and all of that. So, and who knows what even is going to come out. Like, this is just what I planned. I mean, our designers are doing amazing things, and I am definitely not saying that WIPGO is they're going to be my focus pieces, but I mean, the second Madame Chantilly comes out with that Celebrate Winter, I am buying it, kitting it, and starting it. So we are, I hope she comes out with that soon. So yeah, not limiting myself at all. I don't want to put any kind of like restrictions on me, but I definitely want to make progress on everything else. So the ones I have kitted up to start that are also on my WIPGO board. The first one is the Forever and Ever Cottage Garden Samplings. This is actually the first one I bought, but I didn't have it kitted until recently. I didn't have all the floss colors and everything until recently. So I love this one. The fabric I got for it originally was 32 count Vintage Stormy Night Lugana. It's the printed fabric. Someone at the shop was doing it on this fabric, and And it looked really nice, but now that I've done 1.5, I really like the 36 count look with the 2 threads on these. I love the richness, the thickness. So I might get a different fabric for this. I like the gray, but it's also kind of dark, and I want this to be kind of a brighter love. So I'm not committed to this fabric right now. Actually, I just was thinking about this as I was getting ready for this video. And so we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But that is what I have for now. I might keep it, but that's where we're at. The next one is a wintry mix. This was the first thing I ever bought at Keepsakes back in August of 2018, and I have yet to start it, but I love it. They have a model of this and it's gorgeous. This is a wintry mix by Sue Hillis, and I love all of these trees. It's not very many colors, obviously. And I chose for this 32 count raw natural linen by Zweigart. So you can kind of see. And I would do this long one, not the individual trees. So gonna start that this year. Speaking of Madame Chantilly, this is Celebrate 4th of July. And I love these trays. I finished Celebrate Summer over the summer and absolutely loved working on them. Oh, I did have goals for these. Actually, I should tell you what my WIP goals were. So the goal for love is to finish the cardinals. That part of the design, because I like to start in the center with these. So the center is like that heart between them. So finish the cardinals. For this one, it's to finish 2 trees. I could probably knock this one out, but small goals to achieve is to finish 2 of the trees. And then this one, for Celebrate 4th of July, when I did Celebrate Summer, I did the whole tray and then came back and then filled it in, and I loved doing that. So my goal for this year on this is to do the tray outline, essentially. And then whenever I pick it up, decide to pick it up, I can start filling in the actual levels. So, and I am doing this on 40 count linen natural brown. So kind of give that like rustic patriotic look to it. Okay, the other one, this one you've seen recently, is Bluebird of Happiness by Cottage Garden Samplings. And I am doing this on the 36 count Regency from Picture This Plus. And my goal for this one is to finish the birds in the nest, because that's the center of the pattern. So the center of the pattern's like in that nest. So to finish the birds in the nest, and then I can work on that beautiful tree. So I have decided to, whenever I'm working on these, since I did with Merry and Bright, and it makes sense with Wisdom too, I will save the word for last. That'll be the last thing I do. It's kind of a nice way to end it. And I am doing the gold center in the letter. But yeah, so that's my goal for 2021. Next one is Celebrate Christmas from Madame Chantilly. And I am doing this on the winter or water green 40 count. It's the same fabric that I'm doing, or that I did Kind Fierce Brave on. So the same fabric. I love this fabric so much. It's one of my favorites. 40 count water green. Celebrate Christmas. Again, the goal is to get that tray done. The actual, I know the whole thing's a tray, but the actual like outline of the tray. Okay. And then my, this one, I got this as a wonderful gift over the summer from a subscriber. And it is the Dimensions Kit Beach Chairs. Absolutely, I've loved this a really long time, and then she surprised me in a package with it, and I absolutely love it. It did come as a full kit, but it came with Ada, and because of how it is how the pattern is, I did not want to do it on Aida. So I got 32 count touch of blue linen. So, and my goal for this is to finish one chair. Let's see how one chair goes. Now, a lot of this is half stitches. Like the water and the sky, or bits of sky, are all half stitches. So I'm very excited to kind of see how this goes, because I've never actually done a dimensions kit before. I have a lot of them, but I have not actually done one, so I'm excited to do this when it's time. And then the last one I have on my WIP Go board, it's also part of haul, sort of. I purchased the, beside the Seesaw from 4 Boys and a NL Girl. I'll link her below. But she is doing a mystery Sal with a pattern that she created, and someone told me about it. Someone sent me a message about it, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. I've never done a mystery Sal before. I'd love to do that. So I got the fabric for it, and she's already released the outline. It's like little blocks. And then like every week, I think for 6 weeks, we get one of the blocks that we like fill in. And I had every intention to go ahead and get the outline done and get it all started and then keep up with it. Theoretically, this is pre-WIP Go ideas. This is like beginning, when did these? Sometime middle December. So I hadn't even like thought about WIP Go yet. And someone told me about it, and I loved the idea of it. And then I got WIP Go going, and I got all my WIPs. Have not even pulled the fabric out of the packaging yet. So that was originally on my WIP Go. I was like, okay, I'll get this started and I'll finish it and I'll keep going. But now that I have like these WIP Go goals and these other things, I definitely would like to still do it, but I don't know. I originally had it as like a finish, and we'll just kind of see how it goes. I still want to start it and get it going. Maybe with that, when that block gets called, I might do that. But I also have 3 other beach related things kitted up, mostly gifts. And so what I've changed that block to on WIP Go is a beach start. So I'm gonna have that all kitted up. And I'll have the other 3 things all kitted up. They're already kitted up. And so when that gets called, I'm gonna start one of them. And we'll see how I'm feeling whenever that block gets called, see which one's calling to me. So I'm not showing you any of that because I don't know what it will be. So we'll kind of wait and see. It'll be a surprise for us all when I end up choosing, whenever that block gets called in the year. So that's one. It's kind of like my second free space, but for a beach start. So those are my WIPs, my kits, my plans. So let's go on to a giveaway. And again, if you have any questions about any of my WIPs or any of my pieces, then just let me know in the comments or send me a message on Instagram, and happy to talk with you about any of these things. Or if you saw a kit and you want to know about colors or something, just let me know. Always happy to share everything that I can. So giveaways. I have not sent out the last month's giveaway. I wish I could do it every week. Month's giveaway. Because as we all know, the postal service has been a little hectic. So I did not want to add to the chaos. So I have not sent out. So if you, I do have both of the winners' addresses. You both have emailed me. Thank you. You will get them hopefully soon. I just want to give the postal service a little, 2 less things to worry about. So I did draw winners for this past one's giveaway though. And again, this is all thanks to Carla at Cobweb Corner. She is incredible. She also has a FlossTube channel that I will link below. Her website's amazing. Definitely check her out. And she has generously been doing these giveaways. So the first one from last time was Hope, Promise of Spring from Cottage Garden Samplings. This was number 4, I believe, in the series. And the word you had to use was spring, and the winner is JoJo Through the Keyhole is your YouTube name. JoJo Through the Keyhole. And I'm going to go ahead and warn you guys too, when I send it, I'm going to take it out of the bag because then it will fit like a normal mailing envelope. I will keep the bag in there, like I'll send it with the bag, but the bag will be folded. It will be outside of the bag just to make it a little bit easier. So JoJo Through the Keyhole, please send me an email at georgiagirlstitching@gmail.com with your mailing address so I can get this out to you. And then the other one was Memorial Day by Hands On Design. The word you had to use for this was flag. And the winner of this one is Lisa J. Richards. So again, Lisa, if you can send me an email at georgiagirlstitching with your mailing address, and so I can get that out to you. So congrats. I'm gonna wait a few days before I comment on your comment because some people like to hear it in the video first. But if I don't hear from you by like Thursday, I'm gonna comment on your comment so I can get your address. And my goal is to mail these out by Saturday. I definitely want to get these out before I start school next week. So the goal is Saturday. I will email all 4 of you when I officially send them out. But again, it'll be outside. And that goes also for the last month's winners. I will be taking them out of the envelopes as well. So, all right. So the next portion is Stitchy Kindness, Gifts, and Haul. And then I can finally get off of here. So, and stop rambling your ear off. So I was absolutely spoiled this year I have amazing family and friends, and I appreciate you all so incredibly much. I'm just gonna kind of go through my gifts first, and then go through. I just have a teeny tiny little bit of haul. But my first gift is not technically a Stitchy gift yet, but it will be because this is from one of my college friends who's also one of the bridesmaids in my wedding. She sent that there's like 4 of us that we were kind of like inseparable junior and senior year. And, she sent all of us, I went to University of Georgia in case you're new. It's part of the Georgia girl stitching. I'm a Georgia girl. But she sent us these like, key charms that have Athens, which that's where Athens is in Georgia, where University of Georgia is. So she sent us all 3 of us, these cute little keychains. And so I'm going to turn this into a needle minder. I haven't yet, but I want to show you. So that's going to become a needle minder so I can actually see it all the time. So thank you, Gracie. So that was kind of my one almost but not yet stitchy thing. The next one is from Jen. Spooneroony Stitcher on Instagram. She sent me out of nowhere this like really nice card, like Christmas card with a really sweet note in it. And then she also gave me some floss that I've already put in a project. So she sent me really sweet, really gorgeous floss. And then also this ornament that she stitched. Love, Ohio. Which like when I saw it, I pretty much started crying because I do love Ohio and I miss Cincinnati so much. Oh, I miss it so much. So Jen, thank you. I immediately went and put it on the tree. Like I had to take it off the tree for this video and it was up high. I officially have more Ohio ornaments than I do of any kind of ornament. Because before I moved, I got like a wood cutout since this is Cincinnati on it. I lived in Glendale, which is the township in Cincinnati. And they're really known for their black squirrels. And there's a whole story there. And, there's a village gift shop and they had ornaments that said Glendale with a black squirrel on it. So I had to get that. And then I worked at Cincinnati Children's when I was living there, and Cincinnati Children's came out with their own ornament. That's like it's like a metal die cut of the hospital. So I got that before I moved too. So I have 4, and now I have 4 Ohio ornaments, Cincinnati ornaments. So thank you so much, Jen. Next one is from a subscriber who I've talked about my love of Winnie the Pooh in the past. and she reached out and she said she had, this is Patty, she said she had some Winnie the Pooh charts and was wondering if I would like them. And I was like, of course, I love Winnie the Pooh. If you're ready to pass them along, I will happily receive them. And so she sent me this card. It was a really nice card with a really nice note in it. And then she's actually sent 4 chart books. So the first one is P is for Pooh, and that's the cover. And then these are some of the ones that are inside, which are just absolutely just adorable. I love them so much. Always good to have Pooh ones around. And it's colored charts, which are really nice. And then the next one was Pooh and Friends, 25 designs for Pooh and Friends. So these are, love these. I've never done like, oh no, I can't, these are all charts. Yeah, so there's only ones that are not, here's 2 more. I was gonna see maybe if I could do like a flip through of them if anyone's interested, but I just realized that it's all charts. So the only pictures of them are the ones on the covers. And then this was another one that she added. Super cute, patriotic bunny. And there's a few other ones in here. That's one of them. And then let's see. We're all in this. It's so cute. These cute little characters, animal characters. So yeah, so if you haven't seen that, these are some oldies but goodies, and I love them. I don't have like really like a vintage stash, I guess, of charts, 'cause Mom had stopped. I have some of Mom's when she was really into it, but she hasn't been buying. She stopped buying in the early 90s and then didn't pick it back up again until I started in 2015, 2014. So, started seriously like in 2014. So yeah, so I love seeing some of the, charts from in between that time. And then she also sent me this Hang 10 from Raise the Roof. Yeah, Raise the Roof. Which I've seen Gary from Sunshine Stitchers do things like this, and I love them. I think that's so cool. Super cute. So yeah, thank you so much, Patty. I love those. For Christmas, Mom got me Let's Talk Autumn from Hands On Design. So her main quilt shop that she goes to in Marietta is Tiny Stitches, which is actually where Lorraine, Rags to Stitches USA here on FlossTube. That's where she, I know she works there. And it's mostly a quilt shop, but they have started to create this little cross stitch corner. Started to carry some floss, and they have been starting getting charts and fabric, and then they get the variegated flosses that kind of go with the charts that they have, so you can kind of kit up while you're there. They unfortunately did not have monkey grass. I did look there. Mom and I went during one of our crafty days. We went, and Lorraine was working, so I got to see Lorraine, which was really fun. And but I looked for monkey grass, and they did not have it because they didn't have a chart there that called for it. So, but they're building it up, and it's really nice. It's kind of like a mini, very, very mini LNS. So if you're in the Marietta area and you need fabric, or you want to see if there's something there, check out Tiny Stitches in Marietta. So, but this was there, so Mom got this for me. I love these series. I would probably not do it on the black, but I don't know what I would do it on. But I love having it. And I love the little ones too. So I'm gonna start getting the full, I'm gonna get winter too and kind of build up this series. So, and then David, so I technically have not gotten my Christmas present yet from David. He ordered, so I told him a long time ago about my 1, 2, 3 stitch wish list. And he ordered early December. Like, he said it was like the first week of December. He ordered a bunch of stuff off my wish list from 1, 2, 3 Stitch. And when he ordered it, everything was in stock. it has still not come in. It's officially been a month since he ordered it, with everything saying that because you can't really order it if it's not in stock. So he got the notification that it shipped December 28th. So, but he had it sent to his mom's house because he thought we were going to be in town for 2 weeks. So he had it sent to Atlanta. So hopefully I'll be able to show you that haul, hopefully by the next video. But what he did, because he still wanted me to like open a present, was he printed out the order and put it in a big box and like full of tissue paper. And like, so when I opened it, it had like a cute like note on it. And so I can see everything that he ordered, but I just don't physically have it. But he ordered a bunch of fabric that I had on there, and the Beachy Mood from Cricut Collection. And he ordered that with the buttons, and he essentially like kitted up a couple projects for me. One of the ones was one that I had on my wish list, from, I saw it and thought of him. And so I put it on there, like one day I'll do this. Well, he saw it and went ahead and got it. And it was the, what's the name of it? I don't want to say the wrong name. Oh yeah, it's Let's Drink Beer from Imaginating. So I have the Let's Do Wine. They have a beer one, and it's Let's Do Beer. So he bought that pattern and all the floss to go with it. And then he bought the Beachy Mood, all the floss and the buttons that go with that. So, so it's really sweet. And then a couple different kinds of fabric that I had on my wish list to try out. He bought that as well. So I'll hopefully have that. It's like a to be seen haul, but I'll hopefully have that for the next time. But it was really sweet. And then hopefully 123 Stitch hopefully things can get back to normal, because it wasn't the postal service. I don't know what happened. It wasn't able to get out until almost a month later, but because I actually ordered something from 123 Stitch after that, and I got it before that. Like I ordered that fabric for the Besides the Sea Sal. I ordered that mid-December, and I got it like 4 days later. So I don't know, very strange. But so we were obviously gone for a couple weeks. So when we came home on Sunday, it was almost like a second round, because we had quite a few gifts and packages that had arrived, and cards that had arrived over the 2 weeks. And I had one from Taylor's, didn't have anything stitchy related, so I'm not showing anything, but she sent us a wonderful care package with a nice bottle of Biltmore wine in there. So Taylor, thank you so much. It was very tasty. We've already drank it. It was so wonderful. She got one of the Christmas at Biltmore wines, because we love Biltmore. But another package that came was a surprise package from Lenny and Susan at Keepsakes, who are just so amazing, and I don't deserve them, and I don't know what I did to get in their good graces, but they are incredible, and they sent quite a care package, a really sweet card. I love the fox in this, fox with the scarf. And then it's like some was Lenny, some was Susan, but the first thing was my unicorn. I have like, I don't have any like unicorn in the true sense of the word unicorn, where I can't find it. It's more, for me, a unicorn is kind of like a wish list thing, where like, I don't know if I will ever be able to like justify buying it, because it's not something that, like, my Glendon place was kind of a unicorn. Like, it's not something that is high, and I don't know. Like, it's something that I would love to do one day, but I don't have foreseeable plans to do it, kind of thing. And one of those for me was the Ricoli de Natale. I meant to look up what that meant before I did this, and I forgot. If anyone knows what this means, I would love to know. I need to look it up. But I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. I did her Zucca pumpkin. It's Alessandra Adelaide is the designer. And I did her Zucca pumpkin, and it was so much fun. I absolutely loved it. And so I talked about before that I really loved this pattern. So they got that. And the fabric to go with it. This is 40 count Newcastle linen in the color Lagoon. And it's fat cord. I don't think I need the full thing for for this piece, but I think that's gonna be perfect. And then I just need to get the floss and the buttons. This is a button that you can buy, but just absolutely love it. So, and my pile just fell. But then what else was in the package? Sorry guys. Was they got me the Celebrate Autumn from Madame Chantilly and the floss to go with it. So now I just have to figure out what fabric to use for it. But yeah, all the floss colors. So love that. Hadn't gotten it yet. It was taking a really long time to come in. I had it on order and it was taking a really long time. And so when I ordered, I got Mom the entire Frosty Forest set because she loves the Frosty Forest set. So I went in and got her from Keepsakes. I ordered the entire Frosty Forest set and all the buttons to go with it. And I was like, well, if you have Celebrate Autumn, I'll go ahead and get that too. And Lenny was like, no, it's still not in yet. Oh, maybe she was lying because she was buying it for me. I don't know. Either way, I was like, okay, well, just forget it. Don't worry about it. I'll get it another time, you know, whatever. But here it is. Now I'm wondering if she was kidding. Or it really wasn't in yet and it finally came in. They also got me, this is another Alessandra Adelaide that I was really wanting. And it's the coffee. This is very Zucca Pumpkin-esque. Love that so much. I think it's Lisa from Stitch in the Dream. She did this like 3 times in 3 different colorways or something. I think it was her. It was, yeah. I think it was Lisa. Like 3 different colorways, and I saw it and I like fell in love with it. It was just absolutely amazing. So gotta find the right thing to do that on. And then they just got me, because it's one of my favorite fabrics, they got me more of the 40 count water green, a fat quarter of it. I mean, it really, you can use this for just so many things. It's like the nice blue, a nice blue color, light blue, light green kind of water, it's water green. I mean, that's like a perfect name for it. So, so love that. I don't know, maybe, I don't know, maybe. Madame Chantilly's on it. And then the last thing in the package was a Needleworkers Enthusiast, which is this, I hadn't seen this, but it's a calendar that has all of these like stitchy things, all of these like verses and a sampler verse, just different stitchy related things. And I love it because now I don't have like a stitchy calendar. I have like my stitchy notebook, which was, I mean, Lenny is keeping me so organized. Thank you, Lenny, because she got me this right before I moved, was this book that I keep all my notes in, that she stitched the M on in my colors. And I literally like keep all of my plans and notes. I mean, she's got me organized. And then I got this, and this is where I'm gonna actually write down each day what I'm gonna work on, what I work on, so I can kind of keep a running tally. I'm gonna like actually be able to have stats at the end of this year. I have never kept track of my stitching before. I didn't really know that was a thing. And then she got me this in June, so I didn't really start using this until July. So now I can actually like keep track. I still will not count stitches because I just don't have the brain power or time to do that. But like my WIP list of 2021 going into it, like I've never had this stuff written down before. And now I can actually at least see how many days I work on something, which is kind of cool. And like keep track of my number of finishes. Like I can't really, I mean, I could try and figure it out, but I had also thought about maybe doing like a finish parade for 2020. But I couldn't remember really everything that I had finished because I hadn't written it down. I mean, I have since July what I finished, but I hadn't really written anything down. But now, into 2021, I will have a full report for you of everything that I started, finished, days, you know, stuff like that. So thank you so much. I do not deserve you all, and I love you so much, and thank you. I closed my notes. And then the only other thing is my 2 pieces of haul that came in. So I got, in that keepsakes order, when I ordered Frosty Forest, I got Hello from Liz Matthews' new For Auld Lang Syne. I absolutely love this piece. I did her How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You piece. That was kind of part of the beginning. She released that at Market of last year, and this is kind of and then she did Flowers, Always, and now this one. And I love this song so much. It's an Irish song. I think it's Irish or Scottish. I don't know. It's United Kingdom. I know that's not the same. I first heard this song actually in the Sex and the City movie. They did at the end, Carrie, it's New Year's Eve, and Carrie's running to I forget where she's going, but she's going over, it's New Year's Eve, and so they're playing this song while Carrie's doing something, and I absolutely fell in love with the song. And so I love the whole sentiment, because it's kind of like having a beer with an old friend, kind of reminiscing about old times. It's very nostalgia. And it's just beautifully sang by the person who did it in the movie. I mean, there's tons of renditions of it, but the person who did in the movie, it's just really sweet and brings up like a lot of nostalgia for people too. So I love this. And I don't know how I'm gonna do it though. I like the neutral with the black. I did that with How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You, but I don't know. I feel like it is kind of a New Year's Eve thing. Actually, watch Hello from Liz Matthews. She did a FlossTube with her new releases, and she goes into this in a lot better detail than I am. She tells the story of it way better than I am right now. But I feel like I should use like a shiny, like a Krynic, like a silver Krynic, or like a opalescent fabric. Like I feel like there needs to be something shiny in it. So I have not figured out how I'm gonna do it, but I went ahead and got the pattern for it. So, and then the last thing is my Color and Cotton fabric of the month for 2020. Or 2020, for November of 2020. And this is in the colorway Blush. So I'm in the All Colors Club 32 count. I actually just added 40 count to it. So I'm gonna start getting 32 count and 40 count starting this month for the Fabric of the Month Club in the All Colors Club. And I think this is gorgeous. It's a little bit darker than the last one. So she sent another pink one. I think it was March or April? No, it was later than that. Middle of last year, she had one. It was like a light pink, and this is kind of like a darker pink. But I think it's gorgeous. But I've been really wanting to build up my 40 count stash, because I'm always stitching on a 32 count, 40 count, occasionally 36 count if that's kitted up in a project. And I like the 36 count. I really like the 36 count for the Cottage Garden sampling ones, but I don't think I would normally pick a 36 count. I think if I was going 36, I might as well just go 40, because then I can use one strand and it's not that much of a size difference. But for the birds, and like, it's just so rich and thick that I am so happy that those are on 35, 36 count, which I'm even considering changing the Love one to it. So, but yeah, so I'm happy to have this, add that to the stash, build up my 40 count stash starting this year. But yeah, so Angela at Color and Cotton is amazing. The whole crew at Color and Cotton is amazing. Cannot recommend this company more. And they just have like the new facility. It's gonna be really exciting to see what happens with Color and Cotton this year. They've got a lot going for them right now, so I'm really excited to see where that goes with them. I don't have a giveaway this time around, maybe next month, but as they say, oh, wait, no, one more thing. I got cards. Sorry. I got a few cards from some fellow floss tubers, and people have shown these a lot already, but I wanted to send my official thanks to them. So I got Pam and Steph's card. I miss you. Love it. Love that card. Absolutely love that card. I got Joy-Filled Stitcher Annie, got her card. Love that piece so much, that Prairie Schooler. So thank you, Annie. And then I got Jenny at Long Dog. Got her card with her her Long Dog finish. So yeah. So thank you guys so much for thinking of me to send a card. I really appreciate it. And then Taylor and Brad sent, with her package, she sent me a card, and I just love the drawing on it. I think that's so cute. Very festive. So I think that's it. I think that's officially it. If there's anything else, I'll show you in February of 2021. So I am gonna stick with my monthly video, and of course, if you have any questions, please comment, message me on Instagram, email me at georgiagirlstitching@gmail.com. I am slower to respond to georgiagirlstitching. I'm slower to respond at the email than the Instagram. Sometimes the Instagram takes a little bit longer too, because it hides, sometimes it hides messages, like the requests thing, it's hard. So give me time, I promise I'll respond to you though. I have been working my way through emailing at people who wanted the autumn harvest chart that I did. It's the Quaker pumpkins from Hello from Liz Matthews. I recharted the words, and I am offering the words if you would like it. You just have to email me and then I send it out. But if you have not received it, like if you sent me a message on Instagram instead of emailing me and you haven't gotten it, please email me and I will get it out to you. It's kind of hard to go back and forth, and sometimes I miss things and forget things. So if you have not received it and you want one, please email me and I will be sure to get it out to you. Okay, sorry if I missed you. I think that's it, and thank you all again for such a wonderful 2020. I started this journey on FlossTube in April of 2020, and here we are, January of 2021. So it's been a wonderful few months with you all, and I'm really excited to see what 2021 brings. Hopefully a lot more health and positivity. So yeah, so again, thank you all again for subscribing, and if you've gotten this far, thank you so much. And I will see you all in January of 2020. I'll see you all in February of 2021. Love you all. Bye.